y'all, and welcome back. Happy September. I cannot believe that we are already in September. This year is just flying by. But today I want to share with you my September TBR. I hope that I have finally gotten out of this book reading slump that I was in, and I'm super excited to share with you today my September TBR. So let's just go ahead and get into it. The first book on my TBR was actually inspired by the TV show that I've been watching, which is Chesapeake Shores. So I have read the first two books in the series, and now I am on to the third one, which is Harbor Lights, and this is a series by Cheryl Woods. So in this book we are going to be following Kevin, who is the oldest O'Brien brother. He is a single father, and in his new role he decides to move back home to get help from his family, and he just wants to focus on being a good dad. And during this time, he then meets the owner of the Main Street bookshop, and romance ensues, of course. So I really love this series, the book series as well as the TV series, and I'm excited to read more about what's going to happen in the book series. I feel like they've differed a little bit just from reading the description of this book. I don't think the TV series follows it at all, but that is okay because so far I am definitely loving both. Keeping with the TV to book theme or book to TV theme, the next book that I want to read is A Virgin River Christmas by Robin Carr. I did recently watch the whole next season of Virgin River, and it just got me back in the mood to read the next book. I was kind of hoping to wait to read this during Christmas time, but I just wanted to read it now. So in this one, I think we're going to meet some new characters. I believe Ian, who is a Marine who was in the same unit as all of the other characters that we've already met, has moved to Virgin River, and Marcy, who has somehow related to these Marines, has been writing Ian, and she hasn't been getting any responses, so she decides to track him down and finds him in Virgin River, and I'm pretty sure another romance is going to ensue because that's what all of these books are about, but that's kind of why we love them, right? So I'm really excited to read this one. Like I said, I just feel like the atmosphere of this book as well as the Chesapeake Shores one is just perfect for September. It kind of gets you into that like cozy atmospheric mood. Not so much like spooky like Halloween, but just more like cozy fall mood, just with small towns and just perfect characters, and it just, I hope it's gonna just put me straight into the mood for fall. So the next book that I want to read is again another one that just kind of reminds me of like fall, I guess. I'm not really sure why. I don't think it actually takes place during fall, but just like the little camper with everything, it's just so cute and like something that I would totally do during fall. So the next one is The Happy Camper by Melody Carlson. This one is about a girl who is moving back home after some like bad stuff happens in the city where she was living, so she moves back home to the Oregon farm that her grandfather owns, and when she gets there she discovers that her mom has already moved into her old room. So in order to escape the hecticness of the house, she moves into a little camper and decides to live there for while she's at home helping with her grandfather and their farm. So I think this is going to be a super cute read with some romance, maybe a little bit of a love triangle, and I think it's going to be perfect. I can't wait to read this one, and I kind of hope that it also gives me like the cozy fall atmospheric vibe that I'm looking for. So the next book I recently talked about in my trying to get over my reading slump, and that is When the Stars Go Dark by Paula McLean. So this one, I was a little bit confused about it when I read the first chapter, and I didn't feel like the first chapter gave me a very good idea of what the book is about, but the description gives a little bit better of an idea. So our main character is a missing persons detective, and when tragedy strikes her own life, she decides to move back home to where she was raised, and unfortunately another tragedy hits that town where she was raised at, and it's very reminiscent of a tragedy that happened when she was a child. So I think this is going to be a lot of like parallels in the story, and I think it's going to be super like atmospheric, totally perfect for the end of September, moving into October to get ready for all of the spookiness and wonderful October vibes. I'm just all about like vibes right now. If you couldn't tell, I'm just totally into getting into the fall mode. So I do believe that this one is going to be a great read. I did like the first chapter, but like I said, the first chapter didn't really give me a lot of information. So I'm excited to read the rest of the book. So the next book is Not a Happy Family. Again, I read this one for my getting over my reading slump. This one is by Sherry Lapina, and of course all of her books are so good, such like psychological thrillers. Again, getting in the mood for October. I am super excited to read this one. It did sound absolutely wonderful. So this family is a very wealthy family. They live in a very wealthy neighborhood in upstate New York, and they have everything that money can buy, except when a murderer comes through, the parents are murdered, and of course the children are devastated. They are all adult children, but they are all devastated, of course, except that all of them stand to earn millions from the death of their parents. So is anybody from the family actually involved, and you know, who is the murderer? I believe this is going to be a great one. Like I said, all of the Sherry Lapina books that I have read so far have been great psychological thrillers, mysteries, whatever you want to call them, and I doubt this one is going to be any different. So I cannot wait to read this book in September, and I will definitely let you know how I like it. Thank you so much for joining me today and going through my September TBR with me. I hope that I will be able to get to all of these books and keep you updated on what I think of them. So I will see y'all again soon. Bye guys.